Hello everybody, this is Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries, and I am really excited today because I have a fellow from Israel on the show today. And he lives there, he has a high position there, and he's the author of this book. This book currently is only in Hebrew, but I'm so excited about it because the name of it is Touching the Bible. And if you go to the website, I'll put it below the screen right now, touching-the-bible.com, you could see some examples in English. The book's not in English, but there's some examples on the website in English. This book has amazing information, great pictures, and I'm really excited about it because I desire to learn Hebrew, and this is going to help me learn Hebrew. It'll help you as well. I'm sure eventually it will be out in English, but right now it's out in Hebrew, and it's something that I think could benefit everybody. At least go to the website. But take a second here, and I need you to hear what the author has to say, and you meet him. He has a big heart for Israel. He lives there, and here he is now. So put your comments and questions below the video, and here's the author of this book. Hello, everybody. It's Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries. We have a very special guest, Moshe Shaka. Moshe, say hello to the Torah Life audience.
Thank you. Well, I live in Israel. I'm 64 years old. I work in the Ministry of Defense, and my hobby for the last 12 years is Bible. And what I did is a book which I call Touching the Bible. I would like to say that I compared the Bible to a big ocean. And there are a lot of pearls in the bottom of the ocean. But few peoples are pearl divers. So what I did, I went to the deep ocean and took out some of the pearls, and I called the book Touching the Bible. What I did is the following. I marked in the complete Bible those sentences that I like and I understand, that include a value, a nice story, an important law, etc., etc. And I condensed it back. And I got a condensed version of the Bible, but I hate to call it a condensed version of the Bible. I called it Touching the Bible. A full-size Bible includes about 1,000 pages of written documents. And my book includes 160 pages. So it is a first step for someone that wants to get access to the Bible and to make a fast look on the whole Bible, the stories, the values, and the laws.
I know on your website you have some examples, and you have an English section on your website. You have some examples of scriptures that explain your book. But can you give us an example from Scripture of what you've done with your book? When you say condensed, give us an example.
It's hard to do it without presenting the book itself, but I'll try in my English. So, for example, there is a long chapter that describes the need to keep what the judge is ordering. And I took this chapter and I made of it a condensed chapter that includes the same ideas, but with a third of the number of the words from the full-size chapter. I did not change any word. I did not change the order of the words in the chapter or in the whole project I did. I just condensed and took out specific sentences and then made a long book which is relevant to the full-size Bible. What else I did? I added titles. So one is not reading a book that starts from A to Z without understanding what's going on. There are titles in between, about 600 titles that explain what is going to happen in the next few paragraphs.
So what you're saying, if I understand you correctly, is you've made the Bible easier to comprehend to the average person that doesn't read it.
Exactly. This is what I did.
Okay, what about the person that's very well studied in reading a Bible? Will this benefit them as well, or will it only benefit the person that's not reading it.
Yes, I think that this is a very good book also for a person that knows the Bible, because that will remind him the important things. I have to add that for now the book is in Hebrew, and I hope I will found the funding in order to translate it to English. So there will be an English version and an English Hebrew version. So one can have one page in Hebrew and beside it one page in English.
A lot of people tell me that by reading the Bible in English, I'm missing a lot by not reading in Hebrew. Do you think the English translations that are out there today are pretty accurate according to the Hebrew, or do you think a lot is missing if you don't understand the Hebrew?
Well, the English version is good enough to understand the values, the law, and the stories. However, the Hebrew version includes the English language, which is so beautiful, and by itself is condensed. If you want to say something in English, sometimes you need a double amount of words relative to saying the same thing in Hebrew. So Hebrew has an outstanding beauty that cannot be translated. Sometimes, in some very specific cases, it is also impossible to translate the Hebrew sentence exactly to English. But these are rare cases.
There are a good amount of Hebrew scholars in Israel that have translated the Bible, many of the rabbis over the years, and they will still disagree on a particular scripture, even though they both know Hebrew very fluently. What do you think this might be?
I don't have a good answer to this question. My dream is to distribute this book to any house in the world, Jews, Christian, and whatever, because the Bible is an unbelievable book. And the problem is that today, the internet age, the SMS age, people don't read such big books. And probably this will bring a short and easy access to the Bible, and then maybe people will come to a point that they want to read the whole Bible.
And your book covers Genesis all the way to Revelation, is that correct?
The whole Bible.
Wonderful. And what else do you want to tell us about your project? How long did it take you to write this book?
Good question. It took me 12 years. It was not writing but editing, because the book was written by God and by prophets. There are some very interesting appendices in this book. For example, one of the appendices is archaeological findings, and that I found in the literature. I put in this book only findings that include some written texts, and it is unbelievable how interesting are these findings that prove many details that are detailed in the Bible, and people will find it very interesting. And another appendix is an index of idioms. Okay, every nice Hebrew sentence in the Hebrew version I marked in blue letters, and then I collected all these idioms to an appendix that is arranged from A to Z in Hebrew. So one that wants to learn Hebrew can find 2,500 idioms that are used up to date in the Hebrew language in this appendix, and to find where it is related in the Bible.
How different is the Hebrew language from the biblical Hebrew language? Because I understand biblical Hebrew and Hebrew were different. How different were they?
Again, it is a very good question, because even Hebrew speakers don't know that thousands of idioms and words and sentences they are using daily are taken from the Bible. So the Bible language is not far away from the nowadays Hebrew.
And your book here, how many pages is your book?
Total is 256 pages. 160 pages of biblical texts and titles, and the rest are appendices and pictures. I installed in the book pictures that were done 160 years ago by the famous Doré, Gustav Doré.
And who has been reading your book in Israel? Has it been people, just the average layperson, or have rabbis been getting your book? Who's been reading this book?
Till now, 3,500 books were distributed in Israel, and the rabbis in Israel like it very much because they agree that the Bible is not a working tool for Jews in Israel, at least in Israel. So why not to use this book? Moreover, there is a demand in the Israel Defense Forces for 10,000 books per year. The IDF, Israel Defense Forces, want to give this book to every officer. And this is probably also a situation that I can say that I'm looking for a donation. It is an opportunity for me to tell it. I am looking for a donation to the Israel Defense Forces for 10,000 books per year. And maybe this is also a way to tell for this demand.
Well, that's an excellent opportunity, and we're going to give you contact information at the end so people can contact you. You spoke about the archaeological finds in the book. How close are, from what the Bible actually says, places were and things were, and the things they're finding now? Somebody told me the percentage is so high that it proves the Bible is a true history book and not made up.
It is unbelievable accurate. There are so many findings that show that since 3,000 years ago, what is written in the Bible is very, very close to what was found. Just for an example, it was found a stone in north of the country where the name House of David was written in a story which was told in the Bible.
Wonderful.
Just one example.
Amazing, amazing. So tell us more. You spoke about the IDF. You have a particular position in Israel. You're not just the average person in Israel. If you mind sharing, tell us what you do in Israel.
Yes, I work in the last 25 years in the area of remote sensing satellites, and I'm involved in the development of these satellites. Israel has in space several remote sensing satellites with very good performance, and I'm involved in the developing of them.
Would you consider what you do in Israel a high position?
Well, yes.
And it's not something the average person does. It takes many years of schooling to do this.
It takes many, many years.
And do you think your position at all will help you get out this book to Israel, or that doesn't make a difference?
Definitely not. I have a complete separation between my work in the Ministry of Defense and my hobby.
How have other people at your hobby or your job, have they read the book?
Some of them.
Okay. And what has been the opinion or the reaction to just the reviews of the book and all throughout Israel for the whole?
Very good. For example, there is in Israel unit of rabbis within the IDF, Israel Defense Forces. They reviewed the book and they gave me, how to say, a stamp that the book is accurate and can be used by soldiers, which is a great deal.
It's a very big, important thing. So your dreams of having this book come out in other languages,
yes,
is something you just would hope to accomplish in the future.
Yes, what I'm saying is that the Bible is the best seller in the history. Touching the Bible will be next to the best seller.
Wonderful. And that's your website, touching-the-bible.com. Yes. And how did you come up with the name Touching the Bible?
Again, I did not want to call it condensed version of the Bible. So I looked for a name, and Touching the Bible was probably the right name for such a book.
What would you say of the scripture in the Bible, or several scriptures that say, do not add or take away from my word, but keep my commandments? So what would you say in defense if somebody says you're taking away or adding? What would you say?
I like the question, and this is why I did not call it a condensed version of the Bible. It is allowed, according to our religion, to use sentences from the Bible. So what I did is a collection of sentences according to my taste. And I let other people to taste it also. This is why I call it just touching the Bible. It is allowed to touch the Bible. It is not allowed to short it. I did not short it. I touched it.
Wonderful, wonderful explanation. And what else would you like to add about your book that people need to know? I know on your website you have a couple of examples translated into English. Do you think before maybe you might come out with an English version, you'll have more translations on your website to help people?
I'm sure it will. Again, the problem is funding. And if someone can help me to fund the translation of this book and to publish it, it can become a great thing. And probably also a great business.
And how's the best way somebody can make a donation? Is there a place on your website where they can donate, or is there a different way to contact you?
Okay. The way is to contact me, but I want to emphasize the money will not come to my pocket. The money will come to an organization that belongs to the IDF that is responsible on collecting the money. So everything will be open, clean, and very, how to say? Kosher and on the table.
Understand. That's wonderful. Now, if somebody wants to contact you directly, how can they best do that?
So, probably email me.
Okay.
My email is touching.the.bible @gmail.com.
Okay, and we'll put your email under the page here as well, so people can contact you as well. Well, I thank you so much for taking the time to share this. And you live in Israel. You're there most of the time. You're just visiting the United States now, and we got a chance to do this great interview. Is there anything you want to say to people watching this? It's just about Israel, and since you have a heart for Israel, you live in Israel, anything you want to share with people?
First of all, I believe Israel is a great country, an outstanding country. It is very nice and good to live there. I like to live there. I have family there, a wife, kids, grandchild, and I invite everybody to come to Israel to see it. And secondly, please buy one book. Watch it, see it, and then you can get an impression how you want to help me to distribute this book in all languages worldwide.
All right, everybody, there it was. Go out and get a copy of this book. Well, you can't go out unless you go to Israel to get it, but go to his website and order it. And it's just something great to have in the house, even if you don't know Hebrew. Just have it there, and maybe people will think you know Hebrew if you have it there. Maybe that'll encourage you to learn Hebrew. So get the book, contact the author if you have any other questions, and if you could, send him a donation, not only that he can get this book in the hands of the IDF, like he said in the interview, but even more important, that he can translate the book to English so you can understand and read it. So, so get that donation to him. It's a great thing if you can do that. And until then, everybody, put your comments or questions below the video. Have a great day, and shalom, shalom.
Come out of the world, oh my people, seek the truth, avoid the evil, learn Yahweh's ways, Torah Life Ministries, come out of the world.